Hi everyone. I wanted to make this video to yesterday I made a video with my brother for the Instagram for the organization that he'll be running. And so I guess Instagram's supposed to be a little bit faster, like shorter videos, so I had to answer all the questions really quickly. But I thought to myself, you know what? I'd like to take the time to answer them in my YouTube. Sorry, I don't have the same background as yesterday. We It's kind of a mission to put it up, and then I ended up putting everything away, and now I thought, let me just make the video. I'm sure it's not 100% needed right now, right? The information's what's important. Hopefully. But let me see. So yesterday we asked chat to create some questions for us. Oh man, I think it's. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So, question one was the introduction. As you all know, my name is Cynthia Torres, and I'm from Southgate, California. I was raised in both Southgate and Watts, so I have a little bit of both in my blood. But growing up, I came to Southgate schools, which I'm very grateful for. I love my city, and I want to get back to my community. So hopefully this organization makes that happen. But so the next question was, let me just continue so I don't prolong this video more than what it should be, right? Enough about me. So, can you tell us a little about what this organization is all about? Was one of the questions. This organization is about I really want to I want to do a million things. I'm always running scenarios in my head. Everything I've learned in life, I want to, on some way, use it now for okay. I might not be able to answer all the questions. I start these videos and immediately I want to cry. Special needs has become something that has taken over my entire being. And I'm never okay. And what I want to do is I want to put all my energy into something that I feel in my heart will be something positive. And then at times I don't feel it in my heart. Sometimes I feel like, what am I even doing? I'm not even putting a dent. Like, I don't think people even need help. It's the weirdest thing, because sometimes it just seems like crickets, like, where's all the inspiration or like motivation, or like, did I make all that up in my head? Did I just create that people are living in constant pain like me? And I pour a lot of energy into the organization in different ways, like thinking of the right merchandise to buy that people can use, where I'm not just kind of forcing people to buy something they don't need, or updating my spending report, or even making these videos. Like, I just dropped off my kids, I just had my coffee, and I know that I have to cook and clean and get their laundry ready for the next day, and instead I come here and I make a video, and it's gonna take, believe it or not, about 2 hours of my day to do that. preparing for the next move, like the next event, asking people for help, which is the thing that I like dread the most. Like it makes me feel like I'm bothering people, even though people insist that they want to help. But I think, man, like, isn't life fast paced for everyone, or is it just me? Isn't life like where you can't breathe, or is it just me? Like, am I really gonna pull somebody from their fast paced, not able to breathe life, and ask them to help me in something that, like, is it even going to work? Is it even going to help? Like, so there's a lot of challenges I face, every day with this organization. And I know I've heard success stories where the person doesn't stop trying, right? But I have children, and one of those children is special needs. And I feel guilty taking away from... Wow, was I shaking the table like crazy? I'm so sorry. I have this thing where I'm just constantly having to move. I think I was shaking the table, so it shook the camera. I'm constantly, feeling guilty about... I don't take time from him. Like, I'm doing this right now that he's in school, right? So I always try to do it to where I try not to take time from him. I try. But sometimes I do it when he is around, and I think I'm always with him. I'm always with him. Always. I'm his safety blanket. I'm the thing he needs to punch every day, emotionally and sometimes physically. So I'm with him all the time. So sometimes, my other children, they convince me, like, it's okay, just go, like, don't worry. Like, so I'm trying. What's the question again? Can you tell us a little bit about what this organization is all about? So when I psychoanalyze life, sometimes I think about my life, and I think I can't man, excuse my language, but this sucks so bad. I feel so stuck. Before I had my son, my career was, I was a mechanic. That's what I wanted to do in life. That was my life goal, was to open up a shop and make it an honest shop. One where you are not gonna ever be lied to. You are never going to be played. Like, you were never going to be convinced. I studied automotive at ELAC, the main campus. And I got hired at a dealership. I won't say which dealership yet, but I worked for a dealership. Fine, I'll just say it. You know what? I'm a total open book. You can ask me literally anything. I just didn't want to say it because I don't want to promote it. But I worked for Toyota of Hollywood for, I believe it was 2 years, and Toyota of Norwalk for 1 or 2 years as well. But as a mechanic. So I wanted to gain the experience and then eventually open up my own shop so that I can my plan was to create a safe space for moms and daughters, and this is and anyone, right? absolutely anyone. But like, I would hear from a lot of people that they were, like, a lot of women, that they were intimidated to take their car to a shop. They felt like, because they did not know, the mechanics would fool them. And so, working in that environment, I realized, yeah, I could see how it is now. I was told I would never make it because, off the bat, I informed everyone that I was not going to lie, that I did not care what I had to do. If I had to work twice as hard because I didn't lie, that's what I was going to do. Thank God the first team I was in was the greatest people ever. I absolutely love those guys still to this day with all my heart. And they never asked me to lie. But I would see others, and I would see that they would say that the car needed something that it did not really need. And then sometimes it wasn't even the mechanics lying, it was the service riders. It was the people in the front, because they also got paid. Like, the more you get out of the job, the more you get paid. Everyone's getting paid commission. So I was never okay with that. And it didn't matter that it was in Hollywood with people with money, right? A lot of celebrities, took their cars there. I actually saw a couple celebrities myself, which was crazy. I saw Mandy Moore. Like, she was just sitting there waiting for her car. I worked on Chris Brown's car. I think that's what they said, and that's what was on the thing. But yeah, it's crazy, because even then, like, that they have money, they play it out to be like, who cares, they have money. And it's a moral thing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna let you condition me to become a liar, or a cheat, or a thief, like, I'm not gonna do that. And so I wanted to I always in my head would just be like, don't do it, like, it's not cool. Just stick to what it is. And you guys, the cars need maintenance. Like, you don't have to lie. They don't have to lie. That's extra greediness. I figured it out really quick that, like, I don't have to lie. These cars, radiators don't last forever. You know what I mean? Oil changes are supposed to be done regularly. Brakes, you know what I mean? Tires wear out. Nothing in a vehicle lasts forever. So you don't have to lie. They were lying to me when they said I wouldn't make it if I was honest. That's not true. I knew in my heart that I'd make it because I'd be honest. Everyone's going to want to bring their cars to me. I'm never gonna be like, oh, your car needs this. I'll be like, hey, look, I want to show you. This is the importance of, having a radiator that's not leaking. This is your hose. I want you to see here. It's got, a tear, like, and it's slowly leaking, but you 100,000,000% should not drive that. Like, I'm telling you the honest to God truth. If that hose, like, rips entirely and all your coolant flushes out, you're gonna overheat the motor, and that it's not good. You're gonna crack your heads, like, you're gonna blow a gasket, so. And then I'll show you what a gasket is, and I'll teach you what it is, and I'll like, I'll educate. I'll say the honest to God truth. So you don't have to lie. Cars don't last forever, and they're always going to need maintenance, always. So it's just extra greediness, So anyways, the reason why I'm saying that story is because that played in my head so much. Just the thought that, single moms with just, like, their daughters who are trying so hard to just get them prepared for college would have to buy. Back in the days, we bought used cars galore. I don't know if that's how it is now, but back in the days, like, puro carro usado, you know, like, no one had enough for a car off the lot, you know. So used cars, they immediately, you know, most of them immediately need work. And so I just couldn't fathom the thought of this poor mother trying her best, and then them having to take the car to a shady mechanic who would tell them this car needs this, that, and that. You know, those lists are gravy for mechanics, and that's not cool. You know, the mother's not gonna know, and she's gonna obviously pay because she wants her child to, you know, drive a reliable and vehicle. And then sometimes they wouldn't even do the jobs, you know, like they así los pasan, you know, like they're, it obviously either didn't need it, or they'll just wait until it even comes back, you know. So anyways, I that was in my past, right? I'm getting somewhere. Sorry. I'm getting somewhere. So that was once upon a time my life. My life was that. I studied automotive, and then I got hired at Toyota. And it was the craziest thing because it was during that time where that recall hit like really bad, where the supposedly the cars were accelerating on their own, and they had to recall all these, like, I think it was the Corollas and the Camrys. And so our boss asked my teacher, like, hey, you have any guys that can come and just take care of those pedals, because that was the recall, and put some little padding on the floor, under the floor mat. And so I went and I spoke to my boss, like I interviewed with him, and that's a funny story within itself. He was like, but I asked him to give me a chance. I told him, if I can't hang, you can let me go, because the plan was just, they were just going to do the recalls, and then they were going to just lay them off, I guess. But so it was a group of us. So thank God I stepped it up. My team leader super coached me and helped me, and I did everything right, and they kept me, and so I stayed there. So forward to now. When I got into ABA, and I saw how how we can teach the children new skills. Not saw, like, how I learned, right? Because I learned how to do it, how you could teach a child a new skill. I thought to myself, dang, like, I can do this. Sorry. I promised I wouldn't cry. And I'm trying my best not to. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best not to. Sorry. So, when I started to learn how to teach the children skills like communicating, using either, you know, like stimuli, sign language, I thought, like, dang, eventually, I feel in my heart, eventually I can teach them how to change brakes in a car. eventually I could teach them how to change tires, not just change them, like mount them and dismount them. I could teach them how to balance the tires. I could. I swear I could. I'm confident that I could. I have a really good way of doing this. Like I so I even would know how to like separate the noise from the children, or let's say adults when they become adults. But even then, like children too. Children can balance tires 1,000,000% they could. So So can you tell us a little about what this organization is about? I think it's about me giving the children and their families a real chance in life. Like a real one. If I'm ever gonna go back to automotive, which I still love, like that's actually my happy place sometimes, believe it or not. Unless you say timing belt. Then no. But even then it's fine. But that's still a happy place for me. And I think it's very important for everyone to learn mechanics, like I think it's very important for everyone to be able to do a tune-up, to the very least. I'm not going to even lie to you guys. I'm not good at diagnosing. I stayed behind. I ended that path because I stopped working for 9 years so that I could be with my children. And so it was supposed to be a few years, right? Just so I could raise my kids. But then, the diagnosis came along, and then I really did not think I would ever be able to go back to work. Then I was a bartender for a while because of the hours. Like I was able to work hours around my son. I was a IHSS provider. I still am registered. So still to this day, And then ABA came into my life. So I feel very grateful. But yeah, so I'm hoping that like I feel like I won't stop until that happens. I still want to open a shop one day. Being in a shop environment to me is my safe place. If you guys have never been like in a shop, like in there, like with the machines and everything, I want to change your life, and I want to create a safe shop, still looking the same, right? Still looking like a shop, but like tailored to families of special needs, where we have like safety rooms with windows, where you can see everything that's happening, where you bring your car and you bring your children. And I know insurances, liability, whatever, we'll figure all that stuff out. But let's just say, your child wants to play with the wheel balancing machine and balance a few tires for us. That's magic. Or use the brake lathe machine. I mean, the noise kind of does suck, excuse my language, but headphones, right? Headphones. There are some adults under the spectrum that I know can do it. They can do it. Or let's say the parents. Let's say the parents are like, I don't do anything all day. I don't do anything ever because I'm with my child all the time. Let's say we do have a safe room, right? Filled with BTs for the kids. And the kids are going to be fine. And you know they're going to be fine. Because I always plan on having cameras with sound everywhere. And then you, come on, parent, let's go. I'll teach you how to do your own breaks. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Just don't bring me any German engineering, because no thank you. Take that somewhere else. Just kidding. We'll work on anything. But you know what I mean? Like, parents, they'll just be able to be them for a while. You know what I mean? Just be them for a while and learn something cool and not feel so like you're not a person anymore, you know? So that's just a little tiny part. That's not even everything of what we hope. What's the question again? Can you tell us a little about what this organization is all about? Okay. So to answer that question. So that's just a little bit of what this organization is all about. This is just a little bit of what the organization wants to bring to the world of special needs. So I'll make a video for each question so that you don't have to just sit here and watch if it took me 30 minutes to cough up the answer to that question, yeah, I'm not even going to torture you guys like that. Plus, I still have to finish my house duties. Like Nacho Libre says. He doesn't say house duties, he says something else. But yeah, so that's just one tiny little bit. I also plan on owning a bakery, a restaurant, what else? A barber shop, a dentist. What else? What else do I always think? I think of so many things. For sure, a huge top of the line play area. A pool, like an underground pool. Imagine all of that in one plaza. That's what I imagine. All of that in one plaza. And everything tailored to the children. Then we could go around everywhere with little golf carts. We could even teach the children to drive them. Children/adults, right? Under the spectrum. We'll give jobs to everyone. An arcade. Oh my God, imagine an arcade. And behavior therapists everywhere. A drive-in theater. Or a little movie theater. But everything the way it should be, you know? So there's a lot more. My nerves are getting the best of me. I always feel very self-conscious when I make these videos. I always feel like I don't say much. I'm too emotional. I'm gonna cut this video, and while it's downloading to YouTube, I'm just gonna cook and cry. But I hope you guys were able to stomach this video. I'll make more with each. I'll probably go do that and then come back and just try to shoot out question number 2. Question number 2 is, what inspired you to start it? Ooh, Jesus. I'm not gonna be able to get through these questions. God, you guys would not believe like the last few years of my life. And I'm not gonna, I don't want to just do a big old like sob story, but Jesus, this is really hard to even let out. Sometimes I think if I just quit right now, like no one's gonna judge me. You know what I mean? Nothing has even happened. It's not like I'm taking anything away from anyone. I've not even really truly started anything. But then I look back at, day one, and when I first just had the suspicion of my son, and what I did within that year, and then what I did the next year, and then the next one, and then the next one. And it really is unfortunate because I'm my worst critic, so I don't even give myself credit. Like, I don't even say, like, but look at what you've done. I'm only saying that because in little moments I think, dang, but you learn something. Like, even if you're like tirada al piso, like you still keep going and you learn something. So you're collecting all of that, and now you want to create this great grand thing and make sure that, others don't. I know we all have to go through our stuff, but like no tanto, like donde sientas que te estás ahogando, like you just can't anymore. And even that was healthy for me to get to. Even that really helped me in life to get to rock bottom the way I did at some point in my life. But why do I not want people to feel that pain? At least I don't want the children to feel the pain. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want little innocent voiceless children to feel the pain. But well, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll end the video here because then I could tell I just started rambling on and on at the end, and people have told me that too. But I hope you guys have a good day. Ánimos, échenle ganas, and we got your back here at La Revolución. Yeah, I'll make another one with question number 2. I'll probably skip it also, maybe, and leave that for like another day because that's one really big emotional one for me. But we'll see. But have a good one, and I'll see you guys next video.